It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who knows at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Theodore Roosevelt. This is From the Ground Up, the story of me starting my reptile business. So I guess this is going to be my second episode. I had recorded an episode with my girlfriend, and it turned out the computer died at the end of it when we were doing it. And then it did save, and then somehow closed out and got out, which is fine because, honestly, it was just, like, seriously personal, and it was probably only entertaining for us. And it was much more like a couples therapy than a podcast. So, yeah. So this one I'm just going to do real quick because when I do the one with her, we have to both be not working, and she's got school and stuff, so we just got to arrange it so we are both available and I can set up the microphones and mixer, all that jazz. With this one, I just kind of talking to the microphone, which makes it a lot easier. So I'm just going to go over, I'll probably do periodic updates of just things that are going on reptile related. I did have a rodent bill for which it's probably about a month with a small collection. I mean, this lasts at least a month for me, but I get my rodents from Big Cheese Rodent Factory, and I live in Dallas, so that's right in Fort Worth, so it's maybe from where I am, 45-minute drive, and quite frankly, like some of the best quality I've had as far as they freeze them and they're all kind of separated. It seems like they're frozen separate, and then each pack has it will say 50 large pinky mice on it or 25 jumbo mice on it. So I don't have to do the guessing game as to are these the smalls or the mediums? And also they're all pretty well within the same size. So that's also makes it much easier to tell. So I got a bunch of pinky mice for 50 of them, $15. 50 frozen hopper mice for $25. 25 adult mice, $13.75, and jumbo mice, 25 of them for $20, and some small rats, 15 in a pack, and it was $21.75. So that's a reflection of pretty much what I'm feeding, and plus it's winter, so I'm feeding much less. But I do have some colubrids that I'm still feeding pretty readily, just a male who is pretty undersized. I'm just trying to get him to a normal weight, and I think he's at that right now, but it took a little while, so that's why I was feeding him every 3 days. I mean, the guy that I got him from said that the female ate everything, and the male, he couldn't really get him to eat that well, and you could tell when I got him in. But I did do tuna scenting on some pinky mice, and he was taking 2 or 3 at a time. Recently, he's just been taking 1, but if I do that every 3 days, he looks pretty solid. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I did have my green tree python had a prolapse, which I think it was honestly because I had gone up in mouse size to what I was feeding, and stayed probably in the same amount, maybe once a week, maybe sometimes if something else wasn't eating, I was giving them that mouse, which is always which meant that it was happening quicker. So I was feeding a little bit more frequently, I think, and so there was a prolapse. And I did. Most people say sugar water and put it on the prolapse, but I didn't really want to do any hobby science per se as far as taking any chances. So I just went to the vet. And let's see. I mean, the whole vet visit, it cost $196.52, which, I mean, it's a U.S. captive born and bred green tree python. Honestly, in order just to be safe, $200 plus. Yeah, it's just one of my favorite animals, so I'm not crying about that at all. And actually, the stitches, he did get a stitch to keep the prolapse from falling back out. And I did take that stitch out yesterday. And I don't know, it doesn't look super normal, and he looks a little dehydrated and stuff like that. He's not responding the best, but I mean, we will see. But it says here lidocaine injection was $36. I don't even want to say that. Bupivacaine injection, $36.02. Laceration repair, which is the suture or the stitch, $60.50. Examination, which if you've ever been to the vet, they give you a fee just for showing up. And for this one, it was $64. And yeah, it comes to $196.52. Part of our life and our responsibility, I think, as reptile keepers. I mean, some people try to do as much as they can by themselves, which I totally understand. But I just felt like with that particular animal, I wanted to get things done the right way to give it the best chance. Yeah, I think it's safe to acknowledge the fact that we are keeping live animals, and stuff like that happens. I mean, it's part of our lives, and it's things we have to deal with on a regular basis, and I mean, you can't let it get you down. Therefore, I'm just trying to keep on going, and I am saving some money, probably going to get a rack, start getting some more animals. Right now, I mean, I haven't gotten animals for quite a while. I did get a pair of hognose het snows, a male and a female, and that ran me about $300, which I thought honestly was a great deal. And that female, I hope to have her up at size next year, and the male will definitely be there. So yeah, I just want to get a more colubrids going, as far as getting more colubrids in the collection. But also, you know, I got to account thermostats and racks, and I really want to get all the Herpstats and Herpstat 4s, because I have had the other ones. What is it? Vivarium Electrics, and that's what I've always used. I've just had way too many of them break on me, and I don't really know how to fix them, and they seem to just be straight from China. So it just seems like the Herpstats have a longer life, as well as they're a little bit more expensive, but it'll be worth it. And then when I do buy it, I want to buy the Herpstat 4. You know, it ends up being a little bit, I think it's like $350 or something. I don't really know, but it ends up being a lot cheaper if you go the 4 route than if you bought a bunch of 1s. So, and plus, I'd like to keep them all on the same thermostat, as many as possible, be efficient as possible, and cost effective as possible. So that's really my game plan there. Just wanted to wrap up this quick episode, just something I wanted to get out there so I could launch the podcast, because honestly, when I lost that episode with my girlfriend, I decided not to launch it. It probably took a week off, so I figured I might as well just do something, put it out there, and it's the second episode, so hopefully no one's listening anyway. Look up Port City Pythons, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. Who cares? And I will see you guys next time.